But I will play the message, and just let you listen for yourselves. It's been forwarded around quite a bit, so you may or may not have heard it already, but I'm just going to play it here now.
Protecting sources. I'm going to deliver it. It's come from somebody who is in very full contact with a very high up military person. I first heard some of this last month, where the Navy was all put on 3 days leave, and they were to come back and be battle ready, fit for duty. So no hangovers, nothing like that. So sort of thought something might happen then, but nothing major has happened. But what has been happening is that naval people all around the world have been getting into position. The intel that has come through is that this will start in the ocean, and then we will get the EBS. And the EBS, the Emergency Broadcast System, will come out. There'll be 7 messages that come out on phones, televisions, any sort of way, radio, any way that those things can be done. Out in the streets, if you're walking around, it will be broadcast on loudspeakers and things that they have available. It will tell you that you have 3 hours to get to your home or to the place that you will spend the next 10 days. 3 hours. This is the part that when I received the information, the person was in tears. And it is really quite powerful. They're saying that in Australia, and I assume this is every country, when the EBS happens, if people are on the street, the reason they want everyone in their homes, off the street, out of the way, is because this is the final blast of the bad players. They won't know that you're not a bad player. Anyone on the street, they have been told, live ammunition, shoot to kill. Please inform your loved ones.
That's pretty heavy.
And make sure that they know the enormity of what is about to happen. So, are there any questions on that?
Trish, I don't know if you can answer to this or not, but did your intel mention that it could happen before the supposed election?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So one could say within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Definitely, and maybe even earlier than that. So be prepared. And we've been mentioning it, and we've been talking about this for a long time, but the enormity of what's about to happen, I don't think it's reached us. It's a little bit of fun, make sure you've got enough food and water, and as Doug said, everyone can go on a water diet for 10 days, you'll survive. It's easy. But there is a huge enormity, emotional thing with this. So, when you were saying before that we are going to be the ones that are going to have to help people through this, in our own streets, we may become aware of things that we never thought would ever happen in our perceived lifetime, let alone where it is. It always happens somewhere else. Well, somewhere else is the whole world. including any country that you're in. Yeah. Graham Henderson, Robin.
Well, I've just got a question, Trish and Jim. If, we've discussed this, as you say, before, but with the likes of my son and ourselves with our cancer treatments, it's a bit risky trying to drive from here to a hospital half an hour or so away at the peril of being shot on site.
Look,
there has to be somebody that can put us at a little bit more.
The military will be aware of all of that. They will be in coordination with hospitals, with anyone in that situation. You might even be picked up by the military and taken. I don't know how it's going to work, but they're not going to let people suffer that way. Okay, this is just general random wandering around, but obviously there's going to be people who need passage to particular things. Okay, so you're not going to be on your own, and there's probably numbers or whatever you can do to do it. And the military will be in charge of the hospitals. They'll know what's going on. And I just saw that message flash up from T. I'm not sure if that's Tamara. I'm not sure. But absolutely, they'll be in charge of hospitals, medical centres, anything like that. So anything that needs to happen, they'll be aware of it. You won't be left alone.
I just know our life is scary enough at the moment without adding any more to it.
I know. Yeah. So there we go. So just letting people know, if you're new here, if you unmute, I'll know that you want to ask a question. Laurie.
Do you think that means locked into an actual house, or can you be in your yard and tending your gardens, etc.?
Well, I guess you could. I guess one of the questions there is that what's going on around the place. Probably where you live, it might be absolutely safe to be out in your garden. But if we're going into lockdown, if we've got people in panic, there may be situations where you don't want to be outside of your house. I just don't know, Laurie. It's never happened. I don't know. But I need to give you that information so that you do take this seriously and don't be silly with it.
Yes, we have been informed some weeks ago about this, so we were aware of it.
Mm-hmm. And so are you Tamara? Yeah, okay, nice to see you.
I would say, sorry Trish, I would say, although it's a concern, the flip side of that is they don't want gangs of people running the streets and doing whatever they want. And, we've seen that in different parts of the world where, when there's a shutdown with electricity or places have to be evacuated, there's gangs that start looting houses and it just becomes complete anarchy. So, we want this to happen. We want the military to be in control so that there's none of this anarchy taking place and total lawlessness, right?
Mm.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Plus also you're going to have people who aren't prepared for this. They didn't know about it. They won't have food at home. They live down at Macca's or wherever it happens to be. They won't understand that, yes, you can go 10 days, 40 days just on water without food, but they're going to be looking for food, and looting, all that sort of thing will take place. So it's about being aware and being prudent. Just take precautions, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Because we've all got a job to do at the end of this. We need everybody, so take good care.